Thank you for coming on my podcast. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. I
This
am
is
excited to be here.
this is Dustin. We met on TikTok. He is the blue collar poet, and I just wanted him to come on and yap with me about his poems and just talk about blue collar and everything else. And that's his niche on TikTok, and my somewhat niche. I mean, I make it my whole personality per everybody in the world. So we're just gonna make it both of our personalities.
Right?
Oh my god. So I do have my little notes. Ooh, that might fall over. Okay. So I do want to talk about like your origin story and identity and how we got here and how you started posting on the internet and all of that good stuff. So the floor is yours at the beginning if you want to talk about how you got into the trades and where you started.
All right. Well, first thing I want to say is you and Carla were kind of like my beginning inspirations to actually putting the poems online. Like, I think it was probably a year and a half ago, where like you were doing your poems quite a bit.
Hmm.
And this was when I was just your everyday, doom scroller. And I came across yours. And then I started seeing hers. But I remember I sent you a message because I was like, man, I want to send her a message and tell her how awesome these are and blah, blah, blah. But I don't want her to think I'm trying to come on to her. So
No.
you probably don't remember, but I put that in the message, like, and you responded,
Oh,
you
I
were like,
remember.
yeah, you were
I
like,
remember.
well, I'm glad you're not because I'm happily married. And I was like, yes, awesome. Like, I promise I just want to tell you, like, you're doing, like, your poems are great and I appreciate what you're doing. Um, so I still didn't start to post because I didn't have an idea to do poems. I started out over a year ago just doing like your typical blue collar videos, like some little blue collar song to it, showing me doing the work or whatever. And I'd post like one here and there and whatnot. And I think I got up to like 200 and something followers. And I was like,
That's
this
a
is
big deal. Don't
frustrating.
laugh about that. That's good.
Yeah. Well, I think like 100 of them were actual personal people I knew. So, but then back in February, I the job I was working for, we did solar site work and like a bunch of other heavy equipment operation. Like we built the solar sites for FPL down in Florida, and then we managed them and stuff like that. So bunch of work all over the country, and they had pulled us into the office. Well, they let me know on a Thursday. They're like, "Hey, we've got Firewatch coming up, but it's going to be 7 days a week for the next couple of months. So if you want to take it," and I was like, 7 12s every day. I'm like, you better believe it. I'm taking it.
That's a lot.
So yeah, so I show up on a Saturday and, they're telling us about it. And then they give us our location. Come to find out, my location was a 2 hour drive one way. So it was actually 16-hour days.
Mm.
So I made a video with that one sound where it's like, I've got I'm fueled by caffeine and a fucking dream. Let's
Yeah,
go.
I know what
It's
you
got
mean.
that metal song.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And so that all of a sudden that jumped up to like 4,000 views and I was so excited. But then I started really thinking about how I wanted to go about the TikTok. And so I actually deleted all my videos. I unfollowed a bunch of people and just deactivated my account for like 30 days. And didn't even get on any social media except I went on Google
Mhm.
and I just started researching TikTok, like the fundamentals of like the business side of it, like what are the numbers, what is this and that. And then when I got back on TikTok, instead of jumping into making videos, I started doing my background work. So I started researching blue collar, and then I just went through everything, and I was like, well, they say you got to pick a niche. You got to pick your thing and you got to post 1 to 4 videos a day. So you got to think long term, right? Uh, you got to think long term. Like, what can you post consistent content and not
Mhm.
run out of content 4 or 5 months into it. So I was like, well, my vision really long term is to be a writer. I don't I want to write books, like I'm working on a book right now, like write
Mhm.
articles for Field and Stream, just all that cool stuff. So I started looking into I was like, well, Chelsea and Carla, like they're, doing really well with their poems. And I read
Mhm.
all your I'm talking about when I say research, like I went through every single comment that y'all had. And
Really?
then I would go to the yeah, and I would go to those guys' page
Mhm.
and I was like, you know what? There's really there's a few guys that have some poems, out there, but it's was only like one or two,
Mhm.
and that was it. So I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm working on a book, but one way I can grab people is I can write short poems every day and then just talk blue collar from the blue collar man's perspective.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the origin of that in a nutshell.
That is so funny.
But so
I love
I
that.
owe a lot of it to you.
Well, thank you. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, weren't you when you messaged me the first time, didn't you say you were writing a book back then too? Because I feel like I had that conversation with you.
Yes, it's been a long time.
I was gonna say, I
um,
feel like we had that conversation.
yeah, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, it's just making it more of a like the harder you got to struggle for it, the better the reward, right?
Mhm.
So this blue collar man did not do good in school. And so I'm not the best, like, and I'm also a very heavy uh critic on myself. So
We
this
all
past
are.
year I wrote and edited, and I've been my own worst enemy. Like I
Mhm.
have 3 notebooks full of like I think I got up to one notebook was at like 7,000 words, and but most of it's just I don't like it. So I go back and I change and I edit, and then I kind of change my mind of exactly how I want it to be. So it's been a struggle, but it is. I'm hoping my goal is to get a 30-page to 40-page book. I don't know if you heard that. A walnut just hit the a walnut hit the shed.
It sounded like a
um,
bird.
yeah. Um, so yeah, it's not gonna be like a big book, but you ought to hear the backlash I get from that too. Like people have told me, "Oh, blue collar men don't read," blah blah blah. How are you gonna market it to guy? And I'm like, you know what? I it's now we can. Hey, he heard the squirrel. He heard me say squirrel.
No, we have a driveway alarm, and every time somebody goes up and down, even though my in-laws literally live 100 yards away from us, the dogs act like they've never seen their vehicles before.
Right? Hey,
Shut up.
right?
Anyway.
Um, yeah, but yeah, it's been a long time coming, but it is going to get published. It's probably gonna be like under $10. And I mean, I probably, when it's all said and done, what I've been writing on is probably gonna end up turning into 3 different books.
Oh,
So
it's
I
the
just gotta put the
mailman.
oh no, the mailman.
They dropped a package off.
Hey,
Is
that's
he really,
great.
really loud?
No, it's not. I mean, it's just a dog. I'm used to like,
Dude, he's
the little dog.
so fucking loud. He could wake the dead.
I'm waiting for the chickens to walk by and come in here and start pecking at the corn and roostering. But yeah, no, so just, before we keep going on about the origins and all that,
Mhm.
like your poems, like your writing, you're like, so like I've read your stuff and listened to your stuff, and I'm just like, man, she is so good.
Thank
Like,
you.
I admire a good writer because a good writer will make you feel emotion, you
Mhm.
know, because it's coming from emotion,
Mhm. Mhm.
and you've just done great. I'm like, man, I
Thank
hope
you.
she doesn't keep doing so many because she's gonna show me up. She's gonna put me out of business.
No, I'm not because you're a guy and no guy I've never ever seen like you're the only one I know other than like massive poet create like there's a couple guys that I follow that are poets, but their niche is like not what you're talking about. So like you're literally the only one that I've seen.
Yeah,
So no, you're
that's
not
the
gonna outdo
goal.
anything. You're not outdoing I'm not outdoing anything, literally. No, I very much enjoy doing it. I just, like I don't know what the hell's wrong with my brain lately, but, like, the last, like, 6 to 8 months, I have no creative juice in my head. None. Like,
Yeah,
I'm trying
I
very
have a
hard to release merchandise because everybody's like, "Oh my god, you should sell T-shirts. You would make so much money. You should sell cups." So that this is like my nobody's gonna hear this probably, but you never know. But I am releasing stuff. I have t-shirts and stuff made, but I'm trying to trademark stuff. That's very expensive if you didn't know that.
yeah, I've looked into trademark myself.
Dude, I wanted to trademark I am married to a blue collar man. It's like $4,000.
Oh, wow.
Like and that's like
Hey,
hiring a
goals.
lawyer, and it's like, do I really want to do I don't know. I'm very like on the fence about
I
it.
think you should. I think you should.
I probably should. And I also like, like the dirty hands, clean money. I want to trademark. It's not trademarked yet. I want to do that
Eh?
so fucking bad. But
Hey, that I like that idea. I actually I was looking into trademark. So real side story on blue collar. Since I've been researching for the book and like writing it, like I wanted to get not okay, so I got all the experience, my whole life, but let me do like actual legwork. So I started digging into where where did the term first come from?
Mhm.
What is the definition? And most people don't even know this, but there is no formal definition for blue collar.
Correct.
Like the best definition I've got, and I've researched everywhere I could look, is skilled or unskilled labor, um, using your hands.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
So I wanted to trademark the definition of blue collar and actually create a definition for it, but so far I haven't got anywhere. Like AI Google is telling me, you can't trademark a definition.
You
And
can.
I'm like, well, let me call Webster. So that's my next research.
Why couldn't you? It'd be the same thing as a slogan, would it not?
I mean, that's what I thought, because I was like, man, how cool would that be? It's like to solidify the blue collar poet is to actually be the first one to create the actual formal definition for blue collar.
That kind of
So I think
shocks me.
I got to get a hold of Webster or something to figure that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I actually reached out to a trademark lawyer last week and I haven't called them back. I'm just like very afraid of how much money that's going to cost. But
Hey, I
Zach is
mean, in
like,
the long run,
I know. And he's like, You'll make money off of this. It looks cool. Like that saying is cool." I was like, "I know." Put that shit on a hat.
I would
Like,
definitely sell your t-shirts,
yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. And he's like, "Put it on TikTok Shop. People are gonna fucking sell it." I was like, "I know." Make it an affiliate thing. I don't know. I was
right?
also thinking of the whole like, have you ever seen those mystery boxes that people do?
Uh, I I have like they'll just like send you a little box with like golf balls and this and
Yeah.
that and just random little
So
manly stuff.
I was thinking of doing like you do a subscription or I don't know, $20 or something. I don't know. I don't know the amount, but have like a t-shirt, a hat, some stickers in it, like hard hat stickers. I don't know. Like make something like that. And he's like, "Oh, that would sell.
Oh
That
yeah.
that would work." I was like, "Yeah, I know." And I've had that like thought process in my head and just create some kind of niche. Like I could have different tiers. Like I could have it for every single trade, like plumbers, electricians,
Right.
operators, like, and just make them all for that. He's like, that's a lot of labor intensive shit, but I think it would work. And it's like, I know, but at the end of the day, I think it would work. So I don't know.
I
It's
think it would.
Yeah.
It's a goal. It's definitely a goal to set for like, like okay, like that's a long term vision.
Yeah, that's not tomorrow. It's like
Yeah.
that's like 6 months down the road or something, because that's a lot of work. Trying to figure out, like, how to set that all up too seems like a hot mess nightmare to me, but I don't
Right.
know. But back to the origin story. So, who taught you how to work hard and feel deeply that you do in your poems? Is there somebody that was the originator of that?
There's a few, but what's funny, and that was one of the reasons why I came to my pawpaw's garage. We live like 15 minutes apart. Um, and it was none other than my pawpaw growing up. And I had two other uncles. I didn't see them as much as him, but I think he retired as an industrial mechanic down in the phosphate mines of Florida when I was a little kid. But he always owned a plant nursery, and it's like 8 acres, and so he had to keep up with all the irrigation, all the timers for the water, and we built the hoop barns, or they you're called hoop barns, but greenhouses, about the same
Mhm.
thing. We cover them with this queen. So ever since I was 13, I started working in the summer there, and he was always out there, doing his own thing. So I always could actually see him at work. And my granny, she would, at the end of the day, we clocked out at 3:30. I mean, 13 years old, 8-hour day was good enough.
Mhm.
um, but I made $5 an hour too,
That's
cash.
good.
So yeah, I would. Hey, at 13 years old, I'd go
Damn,
to my
I was
granny's and make two
making
hundred.
25 cents an hour at 6 years old driving the tractor on my grandpa's farm, so that's damn good
Dang,
money.
that's sodas and ice creams for days. I remember Coke cans back then when I was a kid were like 50 cent or quarter
Mhm.
some places. Um, you can go to the little convenience store with $1 and get you a candy bar, a soda,
Oh, I know.
and still have change.
I remember when,
But
like, the day that gas went to $1 a gallon, I was
yeah,
like, "Holy shit, that's expensive."
yeah, we used to mow grass too, and I remember it was we'd fill up our cans. It'd be like 94, 96 cent a gallon.
Mhm.
So I mean, you could take that 1 gallon and mow like 6 yards with it.
I
Little
know.
small yards.
That's crazy,
But
you can't do this shit now.
no, no, not even close. And
No.
that 1 gallon actually took you like quite a bit. I mean, especially in a little small neighborhood, you
Mhm.
could get through a yard of like 4 or 5 yards on 1 gallon, and you'd
Yeah.
make $20, thirty
Mhm.
bucks sometimes,
Mhm. That's
and only
definitely
invested $1.
Yeah. That's amazing. You can't do that shit now.
No,
Not at all.
but he may even walk in. He doesn't really comprehend TikTok
Yeah.
or podcasts very well. So he'll walk in on my lives and I'm like, "Hey, you're live to the world right now." And he's like,
He's like,
"Hello."
"What
He'll
does
get
that
in the
mean?"
camera
Oh, he's so
and
cute.
start waving. Um, but
How old is
he's
he?
been one of my motivators too on TikTok. Cuz he's told me it's a scam. He's like, "Oh, it's a scam. You're not going to make nothing off there." And I'm
Oh,
like, "No, there's over 3 billion people on here. I don't think it's a scam, bro."
it's not. I've made a lot
But
of
then he
money on
asked
that
me,
app.
he's like, "Well, how much have you made?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm not at 10,000 followers, bro." Like, I'm like, "And
You'll
I
get
don't
there.
sell." I'm like, "I don't sell stuff." So
Dude,
he's
I
actually why I
can't.
started selling soap.
I can't do that shit. Like, anybody that does that, more props to you. I can't. I am very, like, I
It's
just wanna
hard.
yap. I don't like doing that.
Right.
That's not me. But you know
Right.
what's really funny though is, like, just me posting about my life on that app. I've gained like 3 clients for my virtual assistant business just talking about my life.
Yeah.
And they're
Yeah.
like, "We're
And,
not buying your, like, business, we're buying you. We're talking like, we're
that's right.
purchasing your personality." And I'm like, "That's good point. I didn't think about it like that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, kinda tying in, that's funny you say that because that was kinda and see, I don't have a significant other right now, like, so I'm a loner type, and I used to was in and out of the dating world, and now I'm just like, I'm zoned in to what I need to do. It's my daughter's
Mhm.
senior year. I'm like, "Man, I don't wanna mess that up." Like, because relationship takes time to build and work on. I don't care what
Mhm.
anybody says, like, once you're to talk and get to know the person and then meet them, so I'm like, I just don't have time
Mhm.
for that extra stuff. As hard as it is sometimes for me to, like, all of a sudden you kinda, are attracted and maybe you're hitting it off and you're like, "No, no, 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 don't just" as much as that side of me wants to, like, I really need to just lock in to
Mhm.
what I'm doing and focus on my daughters
Yep.
and my writing. But so those 30 days that I got off social media, you know, um, if I talk about religion, I don't want you or anybody to like mistake me for this like hoity toity.
Mhm.
But I'm very much a thinker and, a prayer type
Me
guy and
too.
stuff like that. So during those 30 days, I did a lot of like, just praying about my future.
Mhm.
And when I say pray, I mean like just talk to God like a buddy.
Yeah.
Like
It's a
hey Lord, like
relationship.
yeah, it's like, hey man, I've really been through the ringer over the years, and the goals I have and what I've tried to accomplish. And so one of the things during and I was on fire watch on a solar site down in I was right on the border of Big Cypress Reservation, which is a 96,000 acre Seminole reservation.
Holy shit.
So yeah, it's one of the biggest ones in Florida still left. And so I was just out in the middle of nowhere. And I had a lot of time to think and listen to podcasts. And I was off social media, so it was just all
Oh, yeah,
I
you
was
had a
just listening
lot
to
of
pod.
time.
Yeah, and I was 12 hours there, and then 2 hours drive, and then 2 hour back. Uh, and then I just went home and slept.
Mhm.
But so part of the thing for the poems, and I start to do some talking, like just regular stuff,
Mhm.
was I was like, well, here's one, and I'm not like trying to cheat people, but in a sense, I mean, it's just my marketing strategy.
Mhm.
I was like, I'll use my TikTok as a way and the poems to market my book so that when the book finally comes out, they can be like, hey, this guy's legit.
Yep.
This guy is just another blue collar guy like us.
Mhm.
He, and by using the poems, I can reach people that relate to the poems I'm speaking of.
Yes.
So when the book comes out, it's like, oh, so TikTok to me, it's not so much, okay, how can I get views? How can I get likes? How can I get money off the app? It's like,
Mhm.
how can I just be myself, relate to other blue collar men and women out there?
Yep.
And so that when my book is available, it can market my book and they could grab it and then actually see like because the whole purpose of the book is so I kind of got like three missions for it. Is one to help define who the blue collar man is because apparently TikTok, social media in general, has a problem with understanding what blue collar is. Because if you didn't know no better, you would think to be blue collar, you have to be up by 3 o'clock in the morning, you have to work 20 hours a day,
Nope. No, you
um,
have to work
and you have to make a
26 hours a day. You're wrong.
yeah, and you have to make a bunch of money and have
Yep.
the best, everything,
Mhm.
which there is some truth to that. I always say it's a half truth,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
but there's also a blue collar side that's I'll give you an example. My sister, she works at a stone manufacturing warehouse.
Mhm.
So all the stones get manufactured there in a molding. Well, once the stones are done, they have to be taken out of the molding and stacked in boxes to ship out. Well, she gets there at like 4 a.m. and they have a quota to meet. they meet that quota by 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, sometimes in the morning. Well, she's done. So she's only putting in 6, 7 hours, sometimes max, of some of the most intense labor you can think of.
Mhm.
Um, now, if sh and she, is struggles to make ends meet with that kinda hours and that kinda pay.
Yep.
Is she still blue collar?
Absolutely.
100%.
Yep.
You know? So help define the blue collar man, encourage the blue collar man and woman. I always say man, but, don't let me forget the women.
Yeah.
Um,
I get in trouble for that
and,
too.
define define, encourage. Jesus, them walnuts are just
It's those
falling out the tree.
birds.
Um, define, encourage, and help strengthen the blue collar man. So to get that book, so obviously to get likes, to get shares, to get followers is helpful because
Mhm.
that just means more people can eventually hear the book and get it. And like I said, it'd be under $10, 30 some pages, so it shouldn't be, and it's just going to be at my level, which is third grade, reading level. Um, so nothing too hard to read through, but the goal is I want the reader to read it and feel pride in whatever position they're at. If they're 18 years old,
Mhm.
labor, making, because blue collars still make 15, $16 an hour out there,
Yep.
which is not a lot of money, especially if you're just putting in 40 hours a week.
Mhm.
So I want them to feel proud of who they are and know that they're needed. Like that small job, we need two hands and a body to fulfill that position to make things operate. So you're still very much important, whatever level you're at. Whether I mean, it doesn't matter if you're the lineman. I more props to the oil rig, the iron,
Yep.
the bigger known trades. Um, but they're not, nobody's better than one another,
No.
you know?
And oh my
That
god,
that's
the amount of comments that I get, especially on Instagram, I'm not sure who's shitting all these people's Wheaties on Instagram, but my god, some of these people's comments, I'm like, it's not a dick measuring contest, bro. It's not.
exactly.
Like
No.
somebody I oh my god. I made a video the other day of like it must be nice, and that
Yeah.
just pisses me off. This guy commented on my video, which he blocked me, which made me laugh. I was like, "Whatever, I don't give a shit. I don't care." He's like, "Oh, who sleeps in until 4 a.m.?" I said, "Congratulations on winning the contest that does not exist.
Right.
Shut up."
Right, yeah.
Like, it is not a contest. We are not trying to compete with each other. What is the deal?
Right.
There are days where he has woken up at 2 a.m. Like, do you want me? This is one day. That's the other thing is like what really drives me nuts when I talk about these things and people are like, "Oh, that doesn't happen every day." I said, "Did I fucking say that?" Oh?
Right? Oh, man, the words that are put in and that, especially so, like, my blue collar page is like, it's been doing good, but if you think about it, like, it's not the easiest blue collar niche to grow because
Mm-mm.
I'm giving encouragement, I'm giving my opinion, and I'm speaking poems. So the bigger blue collar, influencer that are out there, what are they doing? They're doing jokes.
Mhm.
They're talking smack, it's all this stuff about, being cocky
Yep.
and
Being
all
a
this stuff. And
douchebag.
those yeah, and those are the ones that are at like half a million followers
Uh-huh.
and
Mhm.
all that. So here I am. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna speak poems and give encouragement.
Yep.
So,
And
but
it's funny how some videos you post aren't even in your niche and then you blow up for that no reason and then you're like,
right,
"Okay." Like I had a video uh last fall that I was talking about this couple at you've probably seen it. This couple at a diner, these two couples, and they were just so cute together. I cried. like making this video. It was so sweet. They were just so adorable. I gained like 22,000 followers from that one video. I'm like,
Wow.
okay, that's
Yeah.
cool. Like, what? Like, I don't
Yeah.
get it. It's that stuff that I don't understand. There are so many things on TikTok that I just don't understand. I don't get it.
Yeah, it's so weird, and, like, you see the people that really try to force the growth, and it's like, "Bro, you really can't,
No.
how do you say it? Like, you can't finagle you
Mm-mm.
can't cheat the algorithm, like,
Nope.
and plus, you can't force a follower. I
No.
don't care how much you put into your video. Some of my best videos, in my opinion, that I thought like said the best information, like my words were good, everything was perfect. The lighting, all of that was great. It's like 4 followers.
Yep.
And then the one where I'm just like being half-hearted,
Mhm.
or whatnot, it blows up over 100,000 views
Yep.
and all this stuff, and I've got like 300 followers from it,
Yep.
so I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna give up trying to, which I never from the
Mhm.
beginning tried to
No.
finagle how I did things.
Nope. And I feel like the ones that you don't really give a shit about are the ones that really truly pop off because I think it's because more people are related to that. Like they can relate, like, oh, this is just, they're just talking like a normal person. And like,
Right.
I remember my very, very, very first viral video was almost 2 years ago. So September, it'll be 2 years. And I was talking about putting my wedding dress back on for Zach for our wedding anniversary. It was like our third or fourth year wedding anniversary. No, fifth,
Oh.
fifth. I don't know. It was one of those. And he told me don't spend any money on my anniversary present. And I'm like, bet, bud. So I put my dress back on and I had my best friend film me saying my vows. And then I wrote him another letter that was just like, we've made it to 5 years, whatever. Well, in rebuttal, he filmed himself saying his vows on our porch. And I talked about it. That's all I did. That's all I did. All I did. I talked about it. I didn't have any video proof, nothing. And that's all I
Right.
did. I just talked about it. That shit, I got 1,000,000 views in like 12 hours.
Wow.
Like, huh? What do you mean? Like, we're sitting there and I filmed it on a Sunday. I remember it. Zach was hanging drywall in the garage and I wanted to take a break. And I said, I think I'm going to make a video and post it on TikTok. And he's like, okay, like, whatever. So I go inside, sit at my kitchen table. I film this video. I post it. I put my phone down. I go help him hang more drywall. I sit down and I start editing photos because I'm a photographer too. And
Yeah.
I'm like, something's happening. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, my phone is blowing the fuck up. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, look at this. And it was at like 40,000 views within like 6 minutes. He goes,
King.
um, if it hits 500,000 views, I'll say my vows. I'm like, I don't think you understand how the internet works. Cause it's gonna. Like, I
Yeah,
think it's
right.
gonna
Once you
happen.
see it, you know it's going
And I
quick.
kept refreshing it, and it was like 50,000, 60,000, 70,000. Like, it was 100,000 views in like, it was so fast. I'm like, Zach? And he's like, holy shit. I was like, yeah, this is insane. And I gained like 9,000 followers from that. And that was the video on how I gained 10,000 followers. It was insane. I'm like, this is weird. Like I was so not used to that. I couldn't keep up with the comments. Like it was absurd. I'm like, well, this is insane. But and then I
Yeah.
realized that me just talking about my relationship, people related to. And that was how I
Right.
started talking about what I talk about. So it's like I don't know. I kinda, like, fell into the stuff that I fell into on accident. I didn't research shit. I just started talking.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, it's where how long have you like like been posting? Like couple 2, 3 years?
So, like, in general or, like, actually trying?
I would say like like actual trying. Like that's probably like your starting point.
This coming February would be 2 years.
2 years. So yeah, that's I mean, you're what, getting close to 150?
No, I'm at like, well, overall with Instagram and everything, I'm at like 118, I think, on TikTok and 33,000 on Instagram. Like, it's a lot. It's absurd. And I did all
Yeah,
of
I
that
mean
in like
that's
2 years. That's crazy to me.
yeah.
I don't know. I
We
don't know.
your voice, I'll say this too, like when I say your voice, not like your you get what I'm
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
like
yeah.
coming coming from in here and
Mhm.
speaking what you say, like it really is a lost thing. Like I mean, cuz you see it too, like I mean, obviously there's times where I'm just busy and I always try to go to who I follow and go and actually watch their whole video
Mhm. Mhm.
and even go in the comments sometimes. Um, and if I don't have much to do, or if it's like a, because I even take my Friday night, Saturday nights, and I'll stay up till 12 o'clock at night just on TikTok engaging
Mhm.
and actually. So I'll read all the guys' comment, and they're like, "Does she even exist? Or women don't exist like that?" And blah blah blah. And it's like, no, like they just they so the ones they exist out there, but they need a Chelsea to they need that they never had a woman's voice that says the things you say.
Mm-mm.
So I think a lot of younger women need to hear you, and a lot of them are probably following you to hear like, hey, good men exist, and this is how you operate as a good woman.
Yep.
So, and that's yeah, that's few and far between.
It's so discouraging to just get on my FYP and I see all these women that are just
Right.
so negative about men in general, and I'm just like, did that man deserve that? What if he
Right. What did he do?
like emotionally, is this man like really that? I mean, maybe a lot of men a lot of men suck. I'm not saying that, but like there are a
Right.
lot of wonderful men out there and people just choose to like look past that. And it's so sad because these women are not giving these men any chance in hell. And it's I've always said to my girlfriends, specifically younger ones, you don't marry the one that gives you that chase, that fucking exciting feeling. You marry the one that makes you feel safe. And I'll say that over
That's
again.
good stuff. That's good stuff.
That man needs to make you feel safe, secure, not secure financially. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that emotionally.
No, I get
Emotionally
what you're saying. Yeah.
secure. Like it I don't give two flying fucks what my husband does. If he fucking worked at McDonald's, hell yeah, brother, flip those burgers. Like I don't care. And that's the other thing that pisses me off when people see my videos. Oh, you're with him for the money. I make more money technically than my husband. I just work less hours. Like,
Right?
no, no. But seeing all these women that talk so negatively about men in general, and then they talk so negatively about them being sensitive at all and having any kind of emotion, it's disturbing because I'm sure as a man, you've gone through this and see like the dating pool is literally full of shit.
Yeah. I pretty much am out of like I don't
Yeah.
but I've been there before and but I learned something though, like I said, mainly like, okay, I got 2 daughters. I've been whatever, 2 divorces, and it finally took the last long-term relationship to finally wake me up to be like, you know what? Like, I'm not a bad man, but at the same time, why am I choosing these relationships that end like this? And something needs to change because, like, I'm not getting any younger. And since I was a kid, I've always, and most, I think a lot of guys do desire this, but we don't say it. We desire having kids and a family just as
Mhm.
much as a young girl grows up wanting a husband and to raise children, you
Mhm.
know? And
Mhm.
I think one of the best movies, manliest movies I can think of is The Gladiator. When
Mhm.
it comes to that, if you've ever seen that with Russell Crowe,
Mhm.
you know, he's always talking about his family, and then he goes back home and he finds them dead. And towards the end, when he's, you know, about to die, he has that vision where he's going back home to see his family. I think that is the best manly movie to touch on that emotion that us men have.
Mhm.
Because I mean, the dude was a warrior. I mean,
Mhm.
you it don't go get more manly if you want to look at it in, you know, bravado,
Mhm.
than him in that movie. So we look forward to that too. So I'm like, man, I've got to just focus on who Dustin is as a person and like really hit some of these goals because not just TikTok so much, but since I was 12, I've wanted. Here comes the chicken.
I know, I heard him.
Um, I might have to go kick him out, but they got the piles of corn laying around.
Oh.
So they'll come in here and peck the corn. But no, so I've been wanting to write a book, and since I was 12, like I've always been a writer. To myself, it was always
Mhm.
an escape for me, and I never really knew that I wrote anything really good because normally it was just like a journal.
Mhm.
I was kind of, I'll admit it, from like I had a really bad breakup. Um, I've just always been that deeper, you know, kid growing up,
Mhm.
like looked
Mhm.
out the window and thought about things,
Mhm.
and just kind of to himself.
See, and
But
that's a prime example. A lot
so
of women are gonna be like, "Oh, men don't think like that." Yes, they do, and I'm gonna tell you something right now, my husband's one of those men. He will think about something way deeper than people will give him credit for, and it's
yeah,
like, no, he's thinking about that a lot harder than you are. And, like, a week
yeah.
after something happens, he'll be like, "Well, this bothered me because of this, this, and this," and it's like, "You're still thinking about that?" And I'm not gonna sit here and be, like, shaming him for it. I'm just shocked. I'm like, "Well, I'm glad you're thinking about it. Do you wanna talk about it?" And he'll be like, "No, I just wanted to let you know." But, like, you saying that, it's like, "Thank you for solidifying that." There's other people that do that.
Oh yeah, and you could coin whatever term you want for that person, an empath. You know, you can
Mhm.
say they got maybe, you know, what's that other word that they use for like ADHD people
I was gonna
or
say he definitely has
autistic?
severe ADHD.
Yeah. They call it something like they use this part of their brain. But anyway,
Mhm.
but yeah, I mean, I'll process body language, I'll process question like so there's a every question somebody has, everything somebody says, it's coming from a place somewhere deep in them. And so you're always like retracing, okay, why did they say it like that?
Yep.
And it takes you time sometimes to process it.
Uh-huh.
But I had a teacher in computer class because I never did my work and they just never really, I mean, I got never got in trouble. So in computer class, instead of doing the actual work that we're supposed to be doing on the computer, I'm just sitting there writing poems.
Oh my
Um, and my teacher came over to, she walked by me and looked over and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just writing." And she started reading it. Well, this poem, I don't even remember. It was kind of on the depressing side. It might have said some, who knows, but it like triggered something in her where she was like, we need to send you somewhere. Hey, um, and God, I'm about to have to
I
kick
love
these
him.
chickens.
I love it.
Um,
You could do
I
whatever
might
you
have
want.
to throw it.
Okay.
Um, so real life podcast.
I know it. I'm not cutting it. It's funny.
Oh my God. Give me 1 second.
You're g
Chickens are gone. um,
Oh my god, they were so pissed at you.
oh yeah. The
Oh my
rooster,
god.
but
You're like, "I'm coming
I
back,
know
motherfucker."
I was just getting into some good meat of some stuff, like because I saw your questions, like some of the writing. Um, but anyway, long story short, so the teacher that I went to after that, she like just fell in love with me, and she was like, "Wow, this is really good the way you're expressing your emotion, even though it's it wasn't like suicidal, but whatever
Yeah.
it was something that like alarmed them."
Yeah. Well, how old
So
were
she
you?
would let me like 15,
Mhm.
um, and so she would let me come write in her class. So I started. She let me write for the school newspaper some article,
Oh.
and was telling me about you know she really encouraged my writing. And then I wrote my uncle Benny. He had passed away. I was like 18, and I had wrote. So I mean, I don't even know if it wasn't like a rhyming poem, but I said something to him, and I showed my aunt, and she was like, "Oh my God, I want this at his casket for everybody to." And so I was like, "Wow, really?" So when you were going through, saying your goodbyes, it was like on like a plaque right there at his casket. And
Oh.
so I was like, so I started to learn then. I'm like, man, I've got something to this, but I don't really, I didn't really do good in school. So I've always wanted to write like as a profession. Like, I mean,
Mhm.
I've always wanted to write the book and stuff like that, but I'm just blue collar. So, I've done all kinds of stuff. So what do? You just go to work. You got to make a living. But I think I'm on to something
You are.
here lately. You know,
And the thing I've had people say to me, "Oh my god, they'll give anybody a platform to just talk on the internet." It's like, "Yeah, they do, and I'm glad I have one."
right?
But you're one of those
Yeah,
people that needs to have one because your voice matters and people need to hear that stuff. And that's the thing, like, a lot of people don't realize, even though it might seem like you're not saying a whole lot, you really have to think about how many people that affects. And like what you said, even
right,
just about something I said small, it's like I didn't think that really mattered that much, but like it resonated with you, you related to it, and you're one
right,
person. And think about how many people see your video. Even if you have 200 people see your video, that's 200 people.
right.
Can you talk to 200 people in front of you? Hell no, I'd be afraid. Like, I'm not doing that shit. That's
Yeah.
scary.
You know what's funny is doing videos and like even podcasts or like lives. That is more scary for me than because I've spoke to crowds. I stood up at my granny's funeral, and I read a poem that I wrote for her at her funeral, and that's natural to me.
I
Like I
can't.
But doing videos, oh my God, like it's a little bit easier now, but I still do the video, and I'm like, oh my God, I do not like doing this at all.
You do great. I
But
would never have guessed that in a million years.
it's a big out of my comfort zone thing for sure.
And
Like,
talking in front of people makes me wanna shit my pants. So congrats to you because I can't do it.
yeah. If I've been at some jobs where I was like messing with the foreman or whatever, and maybe we had like 15, 20, and he was like, "Whoa, wow, do you want to do the meeting?" I said, "Yeah, let me do it." I said, "I'll do it better than you."
I can't.
And he didn't think I would say that, and he's like, "Oh no, I got to do it." And I was like,
Oh my
"Well, do
god.
it correctly then, man."
That is so funny. I do wanna ask, because we are so squirrely, but that's fine. I do wanna ask these questions. So on mental health, and I know we had, like, brushed upon that a little bit, but I'm gonna read it just the way it is because I really like the way that this is worded. What does strength look like to you now compared to 5 years ago?
Man, that's a loaded question.
Mhm.
um,
That's why I
what
wanna
the
ask
straight?
you.
Yeah. So 5 years ago, so I'm about to hit 3 years from my divorce. So 5 years ago, I was just a newlywed. It was like a 2 year marriage, like two and a half.
Mhm.
Um, and sorry, I'm laughing.
You're
Like
fine.
all the stuff that's going on in my head right now 5 years ago.
You know, dark humor
Strange.
is fine. It's okay.
Yeah. You know, to me, like, so I really messed it up on that one. So the easiest way to answer that is, so 5 years ago, like, I really didn't understand myself as much as I thought I did, you know?
Mhm.
Uh, I and I was doing all right. 5 years ago, I was doing my own tile business at the time. Um, I had my nephews came, and one nephew lived with me for about 3 months, and he was my helper. And then he just was missing Central Florida, and I was living in Panama City at the time. And so he went back
Are
home,
you
and I had
still in
another
Florida?
nephew. No, I'm in Kentucky now,
Oh, okay. Okay.
and that's a long story. um, but but no, I was originally born and raised in Central, about an hour south of Orlando. But so I I thought I was doing the right thing, like, but looking back, like you said 5 years ago, like mental health and what a strength looked like to me, um, I would say the biggest thing is knowing my value, knowing like who I am and where I want to go in life. To me, that's the best strength I can get, because like there has been things that try to come up and pull me off course, or there's things like I'm my biggest critic. So I come up and in my head, I doubt certain things. Like, so I'm like, well, should the book really come out like this? Or should I really do this TikTok like this? Am I really like sacrificing all this? Is it really worth it?
Mhm.
But the strength now is like, no, I know it's worth it. Like, I know, like, so a little side note, since March 22nd of this year, I've posted a video every day except two. And that was my starting point to really get good. And I have missed every single lunch break since then. Every single lunch break I've had has been dedicated to either making a video or jumping on there and engaging on my FYP,
Mhm.
responding to it depends, because especially at my level, I don't always have a tremendous amount of views or comments on every single video. So I
Mhm.
may get on there on lunch and I may not have a whole bunch. So what do I do? I either go to my FYP or my following, and I go to those people's videos and I respond to them, or I comment
Mhm.
and I repost. And then that takes up my whole lunch break. So I eat while I'm doing that. I don't relax or nothing, which back in the day, scrolling your FYP was your lunch break. Now it's actually work,
Uh-huh.
you know,
It is.
but and I miss my naps, man, especially if we get an hour lunch break.
Yeah.
Um,
That's a
an
long
hour
break.
lunch break.
Damn.
Well, we get it on nights right now, and I wish
Oh.
I would nap, but I try to. It is a long time, and we used to have it at the solar site, uh, where,
Are you union?
which that was that, no.
Oh, okay.
Um, I was a union CNC machinist at
Mhm.
Caterpillar up in Illinois for about 2 years. That's the only time I've ever been in union. We were on strike and everything, and then when they brought us back, and I never crossed the picket line for any union guys that are listening. I was not a scab. Um, I actually enjoyed it. I did a bunch of side work because I can do. I'm not like a full on carpenter. Like if I had to do it for a job, I wouldn't get paid that well because I'm slow. I have to like double check my phone and
Yeah.
like, okay, is this correct? But as
Mhm.
far as a helper, I know the terms, King Joyce, or Raptor. I'm about to have to kick this chicken again.
Get it.
Um, um, no, it should be good. It's being quiet now. Um, so I'm a really good carpenter's helper, but and that was actually the trade school I went to at 18.
Mhm.
So I did a whole year as a carpenter's helper, or not a carpenter's helper, but a trade school, and I worked on the Mississippi River on a towboat. At Actually, I had my 19th birthday on the Mississippi River.
That's awesome.
um, yeah, I'll never forget it, man. I was the second youngest guy on our boat was 33. So, and then above him, everybody was in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. You
Holy
know,
shit.
so um, and man, I soaked it in. Like when we would sit around in the galley to eat, whatever it was, breakfast, supper, or dinner. I never said nothing. I just sat around and listened. And I think that's lacking in some of our blue collar today is the young kids get 1 year on the job or 2 year, whatever, and they just think they know everything. And it's like,
Mhm.
bro, just soak it in the guys around you because if you just took the time to listen and hear the stories and gain the respect of others and just put in your work, man. If you
Mhm.
got time to be quiet and just like I know you want to get your jokes in too and like be funny and this and that. But let the other guys that have been in this 15, 20, 30 plus years.
Yeah.
Sorry, this thing came up and jumped on the mower next to me. All right. This is
I love it.
great content,
It
by the
is.
way.
I'm keeping all the chickens in there. That's so funny. I love that you said that about being quiet because and gaining respect too, because Zach is a very quiet guy in general, but when we have got like his coworkers over for anything like a party or whatever, the amount of respect that these men have for him is crazy. Like I already knew like they respected him, but just like hearing them tell me that, they're like, "Your husband, I would do anything for that man." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay." And they're like, "No, I don't think you understand."
Yeah,
And I'm like, "Okay." And they're like, "Chelsea, like he is literally one of the best operators we've ever seen, and he's so good at it. He's not an asshole about it. He's so patient." And I'm just like, "That makes me feel good to hear." And they're like, "We respect the
right.
absolute shit out of him." And it's so cool. I mean, he's been doing this for like 10 years, but still, it's like, that's really awesome to hear it, especially as a wife. That makes me very prideful. And I'm sure people are going to be like, "You use that for your entire fucking personality." I'm proud of him, man. I'm allowed to be fucking proud. Let me be.
Yeah. And
Let
and
me be.
that's that blue collar pride that I try to get across with the poems too, and the book. And I'm glad you said that, like, because I want people to understand, like, so blue collar to me, it's more than just your title. Like, it's hard work. Like, yes, not all of it. There's different levels to the what you have to do.
Mhm.
But coming up through whatever trade it may be, it's earned. Not only the respect, but your skill set is earned.
Yep.
Like when I go and set tile somewhere, or because I operate, I'm in the Army Reserve, so that's why I had to shave. It's
I
been
wondered. I
weird.
was like, "Where'd the beard go?"
Yeah, well, I actually did my first drill this weekend. Um, so I'm only 3 days into it, so I just got stubble, but luckily I don't have to be back till November, so I'll be able to keep it again until November. But
There you go.
I know it's so weird, but anyway, but blue collar, like to gain your skill, it took you time, it took you frustration because
Mhm.
that good operator, he had those days where he was like, whoops, and made that mistake.
Mhm.
And to push past those mental hurdles to where you're like, crap, man, every blue collar understands this. That moment where you're like frustrated and 6 months, a year into it, and you're like, dang, bro, I'm still struggling to understand this concept or to get it perfected. There is a point where you have to say, well, you know what? I'm going to learn this. Like
Mhm.
I'm going, no matter what, like it's just a job. That is where that respect is earned. in that skill set, because nobody just jumps on a roof and starts framing, stick
No.
building joist, or nobody starts installing wires, electrical. Nobody finishes concrete perfect the first time. Um, so there's a sense of pride for that man or woman too when you get that first job done correctly, and it's like, man, I'm actually figuring it out. And some look at this. Look at this.
The chicken's like, I want to be in this podcast, man.
I it is getting a little lot, man. Now
Here
they're
they
coming
come.
out. Maybe I should have just did this in my
Oh my God.
apartment.
They're like, hey, man, we want to be on the internet. Do you have any poems you want to read?
Uh on the spot.
Yeah.
So I do have my notes.
Okay.
Um, so let's see. Um, just for the sake, just maybe if somebody um so I'll read you maybe one that's like unedited. So like I have like, if you can look here, like
Uh
I
huh.
have like halfway notes, and some I haven't even used yet, and some I steal some from other. Um, it's actually a little bit harder than people think. Like some people will get on there and they're like, "You forgot the truck driver, or you forgot this, or and I'm like, bro, well, first of all, I have other videos where I mention
Uh
those
huh.
people, and
Uh
second
huh.
of all, if I was to mention every single blue collar in one poem, it'd be like 10 minutes long, and none
It
of
would
y'all would
be.
watch it.
Nobody has a
You know.
nobody has that attention span.
Um. So this I'll give you one. This is and this is like kind of a halfway one. Actually, this is pretty good. I need to go back and edit it. And get it on there. But it says the blue collar man is more than a job or hours he spends on the clock. He's steady like the sun and solid as a rock. He's the one you call to help pull you out of a ditch. He'll give you the shirt off his back, and then I think I messed that one up with the wording. So I was like, he'll give you the shirt off his back. Tired or not, he'll pick up the slack. He's walked through the muck and the mire, and then I put when others, and then I left. But you see where I'm going. Like
Yep.
I try to touch on the the point of like what we do on a daily basis that people don't see. Um, and but every blue collar man that's pushed through it, I don't care if you're a truck driver, an operator, a laborer, an oil field, a lineman, you could do the hardest job to the very minimal hard work, but there's still something in you that struggles, and you have to push through
Mm-hmm.
to get through it. And that's that blue collar pride. But my so a poem I'm working on now, I want to talk about that. Um, is one about the divorced single dad who's living away from his children. And this one is going to take me, I don't know when I'm going to be finished with it, because um, it's really, really personal to
Oh
me.
yeah.
Because not only do, do I live, so like I've done out of town jobs, obviously, like throughout blue collar, but I also live like 4 hours from my daughters.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I miss a lot, not just because I have to leave. So I think there's a lot. I know there's a lot because I've worked around them um, throughout my career in blue collar, where we don't. Oh man, I'm gonna get emotional talking
It's all
about.
right.
We don't get to ever come home to like they live in another home altogether,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not allowed to be on the job. Well, I say we're not allowed, like, but we push through these jobs, like whatever it may be. Like tonight, I'll be on nights and I don't get off till 2. And there will be a moment where I'm getting beat around in this, big dump truck. I've worked in the mines or rock quarry. And there will be a moment that I'll be parked waiting on the loader to load me up. and it'll just hit me out of nowhere like, man, I missed another night to put my kids to sleep. And there's nothing I can do to change that because they will forever, they live with their mother, and that's just the way it is.
Mhm.
So I've been working on this poem now for like a week because once they come to me, it just the words come to my head. I have to write it down really quick. I Especially the emotional ones, I can't write in the emotion because there's just the words are coming too much. Like it's like a highway, like
Mhm.
oh, I have to go back and write. So this one I've worked on, and believe it or not, they have to actually come out just real. Like you heard that one, like you notice, like once I got off with the rhyming, I just stopped. I was like, I can't do this no more.
Yes, you can.
But but this one probably won't rhyme so much. And I'm probably gonna do more that don't necessarily rhyme because poetry is about emotion,
Mhm.
and whether that any emotion.
Mine barely rhyme.
It's about describing. So I know this one's gonna really hit home for a lot of over the road blue collar and a lot of divorced dads that come home to that empty home every night.
Mhm.
So it's probably going to be my longest one. I'm kind of already envisioning the tears coming out as I write it or as I read it. So I want
Don't
it to
stifle
really
those.
you mean like yeah,
Don't
no, I
stifle it.
know.
Don't just let it happen. As weird
Well,
as that sounds.
no, I don't think I am like I hope not. Like the other night I even had to call my daughter like the words were just coming out so well, and I couldn't write it down fast enough. So I called my daughter and I was like, I just want to tell you, like I've never wanted this. I didn't want this to be like this. And she's 13, and
Mhm.
I'm like, I miss you every day, and you know, blah blah blah, all this stuff, and just started telling her like, well, I'm writing this poem about this, and they're all excited for me growing on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
So that's cool.
Dad's famous.
Um, Yeah, yeah, right. They go on all my lives. I haven't done
Oh,
live too much. Cause honestly, I'm not a big fan of the live. Like,
lives suck.
um, yeah, they really do. Cause especially if you try to do it with other people, um, the questions start coming in, and then all of a sudden you're getting pulled this way or that way, and then you forget you're on a live and you're in conversation talking about things that you wouldn't necessarily talk about, and then you're getting distracted by the comments, and
Yep.
I was interrupting the other person, and like I critiqued myself way bad and
Uh-huh.
was like, oh my god, that live, oh, I said this wrong, I like I shouldn't have said that at all, and there's no take backs.
No, there's not. That's why I don't like doing lives because the amount of stupid shit I say.
Yeah, and there's no take backs. Once it's out, it's out.
Mhm. Mhm.
There is no edit, there is no filter to
That's why
change
this
it.
is probably safer for me than lives.
Yeah. If
'Cause
there's anything else you want to say, I guess we can slowly end it.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's my favorite poem I'm working on now, and honestly, it's probably going to take a little bit
Yeah.
cuz I want to make sure like you I want it to come from here, and I don't want to try to
Force
uh
it.
yeah, I definitely don't want to force it cuz this one like, I can already like, the emotion already with it, but I know it's something a lot of blue collar men, because we don't talk about so much the divorced dad that what about him who he doesn't get those everyday nights to see his kids
Mhm.
go home to bed. It's not just that we're out of town too, but what about the blue collar man who lives an hour or 2 hours or even an hour or 30 minutes down the road from his kids? he doesn't get to tuck his kids in bed every night, like,
Yep.
but he has to wake up and perform and push aside that, you know, emotion of because we feel that. Like dads, uh, and I don't care what they say, they feel that pain of missing their children. It ain't all happy
Mhm.
go lucky, like, well, you're single and free and you get to live by yourself. No, bro. It is not it that is my number one heartbreak above anything else in my life. I mean, I could get my finger sawed off. I can work 20 hours a day in the 115-degree heat. I can do that all day long, but
Mhm.
the mental like thoughts of not coming home to your kids sucks.
Yep. I don't have children, but I can imagine.
Yeah,
100%.
and that's one reason why I love what you do is because you can help those blue collar wives be the glue that keeps the family together because that to me is key
Mhm.
for a good society is a
Mhm.
good husband, a good blue collar or white collar, whatever, just a good man that's providing, that's doing his job, loving one wife,
Yep.
not
Mhm.
three, not
Mhm.
multiple women on the side.
No.
Because I don't care what anybody says, faithfulness in men is still a good thing,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
It's very
I
admirable.
don't know. Yeah, somehow we've got these guys that just preach and talk, and a lot of guys want to believe it that, oh, well, men are designed to cheat. Like, I don't know one woman that is truly in love with her man that is just okay with her husband laying around with multiple women. I'm
She's
sorry,
not.
but she does not, she is in love with the security of money. That's it.
Yep.
So she's okay with it, but she's not deeply, like, truly in love. You will not
No.
find a woman
Mm-mm.
or a man, and I'll say this for the men, that because they'll try to tell you, "Oh, men can because we don't think with our emotions when we're sleeping with a woman." Uh, if you have emotions for that one woman and you cheat, and then you come back to that woman that you say you love, I promise you, it will be in your head.
Mhm.
And then you can't properly give her that 100% love and affection in the bedroom that you need to because your mind is like, crap, bro. I was just off doing this one thing. I've been there,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I made up for it in my second marriage, but I just picked the wrong one,
Right?
you know. But anyway,
Yeah, it's, I don't know. I've been cheated on multiple times, and I can't even fathom the thought of even another man touching me, much less even attempting that. Like, I am so deeply in love with my husband, and I'm sure it's very apparent.
yeah,
It I don't know. And, like, he gets really upset about it too because we've had friends that have had affairs, and it fucked him up bad, real bad. He didn't talk to them for, like, a year. Straight up just was like, "Nope, I don't agree with this." Like, nope.
yeah. I'm with Zach, and I'll say something, and this was from an old timer, blue collar man from when I was younger. That was a contractor, and he told me, he said, "You know how I decide to like do big business deals with people?" Is he goes, or not how he decide, but he's like one thing that he will not do business with you. He's if a man cheats on his wife, he's like, because if he'll cheat on his wife, he'll do dirty deals with you in business.
Yep.
So I'm the same way. Like to me, I don't have that high respect for a man who's cheating on
Mm-mm.
his wife.
Nope.
I still like there's a level where I'm like, I'm sorry, man, but I do not respect that.
Yep.
Like that is not like we need to bring back like I don't know
Faithfulness.
why it went wrong because as a man, I promise you, one woman for the rest of your life, that's not a bad thing.
Mm-mm.
Like
Mm-mm.
that is like you're not gonna die if that's the only woman you get to look at and be with for the rest of your life.
Mm-mm.
Like you are going to be okay.
Mhm. And especially if she loves you, like, with her whole soul, do you know how rich you are?
Right. Exactly.
Like,
Like,
the
that's
amount
where
of
it's at, man. Like,
yeah, the amount of comments that I have of people saying that man is rich, like, that just makes my heart melt every single time. I'm like, "Oh my god, that is so cute." I don't think about that. That's just, like, who I am as a person, but people are like, "Man, that man is rich." And
amen.
it just melts
And
me.
all I so people always say, "Well, they're not out there. He's lucky. You're rare, blah blah blah." Well, here's the thing, bro. There's like how many millions of people in America are billions of people in the world? Well, all you need to find is one. That's it. I assure you, there is one woman out there that's going
Mhm,
to match me
mhm,
100% correctly and
mhm.
be exactly what I want. So just go focus on what Dustin needs to do.
Yep,
Enjoy the process. Enjoy being single. Become the man and all. I don't need to find 20. I just need to find one.
and she'll come out of nowhere. She will literally appear out of nowhere, and you will be like, "Where did you come from?" That's how it's going to happen.
Right. Right.
That's what will happen.
I'm not gonna find her on Tinder.
No,
No offense to anybody on Tinder.
no. I
Do
don't
you,
think
boo boo?
I didn't do that. I don't even remember what it was. Plenty of fish? I don't know.
Yeah.
That was like,
I've been on there before, don't get me wrong, but I was like, "This is lame."
what was it? Like 13, 14 years ago, I was on that shit. That's how I found the 2 guys that I dated before Zach, and they were a hot mess. So, like, no,
Yeah,
thank you. Last question. One line that describes and defines your life right now.
locked in. I
Yeah.
mean, like that, like just locked in, like, um, I mean, that really is. I mean, every day. So I envision, I put emotion to my vision. Like
Mhm.
so I don't know if you knew this, but December 8th is Blue Collar National Blue Collar Day.
I did not know that.
Um, yeah, so I have a vision for doing conferences one day myself. And I just always on a daily basis, I'm seeing visions in my head of me standing on a stage and letting men know, like, you know, like this is a line that I actually see in my head saying, like with my book in my hand saying, they told me that blue collar men don't read, and all the men laughing that are there that bought the book, and then just inspiring young men. So no, I'm just locked into, and you know what? A lot of people don't know this, but I could go get a really good paying, like, I mean, even if I don't know it, with my resume and being in the Army Reserve, like, I could get a really good paying job. But I actually took a less paying job that's closer to home that only is working me 50 hours a week only.
Only.
um, so I could focus on my writing more, and the low paychecks will motivate me to focus on my writing and my TikTok
Mhm.
and getting this stuff out there. Because if I took a higher paying job, I might get a little too comfortable and be like, well, whatever. But every time I get my paycheck, don't get me wrong, it's not like a crazy low amount, but it's
Mhm.
low enough to where I'm like, this ain't gonna be it, buddy. Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
there is no
Mhm.
way I am going to make this for the rest of my life. And as much as I want to go get a better paying job, I'm like, nope, I'm locked into my writing. So when I'm off, instead of just chilling, I'm writing, I'm listening to podcasts, I'm doing a podcast.
Yep.
Locked in would describe me right now.
I love that. Is there anything else you wanna say? The floor is yours. Anything at all.
Um, I would say, Chelsea, I really appreciate, like, from a man's point of view, a single man's point of view, like what you're doing on your TikTok, and don't ever stop regardless, because my daughters need to hear what you say. I have a daughter that'll be 18 in February. I have a 13-year-old. it's those younger women, and even in their 30s, a lot of divorced women in their 30s that I run into or whatnot. Well, not here lately. um, I, I try to stay away from it. But they they need your voice. They need your words. They need the encouragement that there are good men out there, because on the woman's side of things, you're showing them, hey, there is good quality blue collar men out there that
Mhm.
exist that won't cheat
Mhm.
on you. Now, every man has their own personality and qualities and different traits or whatnot. So not everybody's going to be identical to Zach,
No.
but there are good men. So you inspire women to see, hey, there are good men out there. So that's a great thing. And then you inspire the men to say, hey, there are good women out there. Now go get your own,
Mhm. Because 'cause I'm
not this one,
unavailable.
right? On both sides, like Zach ain't available, I'm not available.
Nope. Yeah, the amount of
But you
women that have been like,
show,
"Can you please clone him?" I would.
like, you know, I would just say like, hey, just know there are right guys that have the looks that you want, the guy that you're going to be attracted to. There's
Mhm.
a guy like that that's single, that's, doing his thing, and vice versa.
Yep.
Like, when I see some of your videos that I'll watch and where you're talking about things, one of the things that goes on in my head is, see, Chelsea's proof that there are good women out there that want a good man that's not going to cheat on them. That,
Mhm.
because I swear, it seems like nowadays, like some of the, well, I'm trying to stay less and less attracted to those.
Mhm.
But it's like they wanted, they want those guys that like have a girlfriend already. That's, you know, they're they're seeing 3 or 4 girls, and it's like, "Oh, well, what is it about him?" And it's like, "Well, if that girl wants me because I already have a couple girlfriends, that's not who I wanna grow old with."
Nope.
Like, you know? So keep doing your thing. Hopefully one day I could, come meet y'all one day, like, in the
Well, if you
future,
have a
and,
conference,
uh
I'll go.
yeah, that's more of my I think this summer or this December 8th, I want to put it out there to maybe, like, and just see, and, like, if it gets up to, like, 15 guys, like, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But I was actually thinking of doing, like, because it's on a Monday, so see who all would wanna do it and meet down at like, a Airbnb at Florida on, like,
Mhm.
some lake or something, and we, like, go fishing and all take a 3-day weekend, and that would be, like, the start of it. Like,
Yeah.
we just get together, we could, and Florida would be nice because you got the good weather in December,
Yeah.
and we can all just hang out as guys and share our stories
Yep.
and whatnot, and then it'll evolve from there,
Oh, I think
so,
it'd work. I
uh,
don't see why it wouldn't.
yeah, and then that'd be great videos for those days too, um, for those 3 days, do, like, the blue
Mhm.
collar man and all that stuff, and get
Oh,
some
yeah.
other opinions, and but
That's content.
that's all I've got, Chelsea.
Well, you gotta go to work.
Yeah, I know, blue collar man, you either got it or you don't.
Well, I very much appreciate you coming on and yapping with me for an hour and a half and the chickens.
I know, it was great. You've heard them out, they've been, going back and forth outside.
They're pissed they can't come inside.
I know, they want their corn.